Welcome to the Professor English podcast, where we don't just talk about English, we practice English. My name is Ryan, and I am your host. Today, we're going to practice the phrase, what does A have to do with B? It's a very common and useful construction, and we're going to practice it just as it is used in the first paragraph of page 2 of 1984 by George Orwell. Here's the quote. The numbers had something to do with the production of pig iron. If you are interested in exploring the entire paragraph, I've provided a link to that entire discussion video in the description below. Now, let's take a closer look at this phrase. It had something to do with the production of pig iron. This phrase, it has something to do with, is very common and useful. It means it is connected to or related to. Let's try an example. Here is some advice. If you want to be successful, you should take some risks. How can you make a question asking about the connection between taking a risk and being successful? Make a question where you ask how the two things are related. Maybe you don't understand, you don't see what is the connection between taking risks and being successful. The way you would ask it is, what does taking risks have to do with being successful? What is the connection? What does it have to do with being successful? What does taking risks, what does it have to do with being successful? And that question means, what is the connection? How is taking a risk related to being a success? Here's another two-part statement. If you want to be a good student, you have to manage your time well. If you want to be a good student, you have to manage your time well. If you want to be a good student, you have to manage your time well. What if you don't understand how these two things are connected? How can you ask me to explain the relationship between managing time well and being a good student? What does being a good student have to do with managing time? What does being a good student have to do with managing time? What is the connection between managing time and being a good student? How are those two things related? All right, we're learning a lot today. Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to ask you a question. Do you find these exercises useful and helpful? If you answered yes to that question, then you should subscribe to my podcast to be sure that you don't miss the next helpful exercise. And if you are watching this on my YouTube channel, Professor English ESL Class, don't forget to press the like button. It helps my channel a lot, and it lets me know that you find this information helpful. Now, let's take a look at another example. Here is another two-part statement. If you want to get a promotion, you have to dress for success. What if you don't understand this connection? How will you ask me, why are you saying this? Why do you think clothes, the way you dress, dressing for success, dressing well, and getting a promotion are connected? How would you ask me to explain this relationship? How would you ask me about the connection? What does dressing well have to do with getting a promotion? What does dressing well have to do with getting a promotion? All right, super duper job. Let's try another one. If you want to lose weight, you should read food labels. If you want to lose weight, you should read food labels. How will you ask me, what is the connection? Why do you think these two things are related? Ask me to explain this connection. What does reading food labels have to do with losing weight? What does it have to do with losing weight? What does reading food labels have to do with losing weight? What is this relationship? Why do you think that they're connected? Okay, let's revisit the original sentence. A voice was reading a list of numbers. The numbers had something to do with the production of iron. In other words, the list of numbers was related to or connected to the production of iron. By the way, this expression, X has to do with Y, reminds me of a song from the 80s sung by Tina Turner called What's Love Got to Do with It? What has love got to do with it? Have got or has got can always be substituted for have. There's a link to this song in the description. Can you guess what she is asking by saying, what has love got to do with it? She's asking, how is love connected to it? We don't really know what it is, but we can guess, through the other words in the song, that she is asking, what is the connection between her physical relationship with men and love? So maybe she was having a physical relationship with a man, and he mentioned love to her, and she's asking, why are you making this connection between love and a physical relationship? Why do you think those two things are related? That is the question she's asking when she says, what's love got to do with it? Well, it's been a real blast practicing English with you today, and I hope to see you again here soon. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'll be back here again any day now with more fun and interesting phrases for you to learn. But until then, goodbye.